By February of 1945, the war in Europe was already lost. On the evening of the 13th of February, hundreds of aircraft lifted into the cold air from airfields in England and turned east, toward the heart of Germany. Their destination was Dresden. For years, the city had been spared the worst of the bombing. It was known for its architecture, its history. Ahead of the main force came the Pathfinders. Fast, lightly armed mosquitoes. Their job was not to destroy, but to mark. They reached the city first. 2 flares fell through the dark. Then more. The center of Dresden was suddenly outlined in light. And then the main force arrived. The first wave dropped high explosive bombs. They broke roofs, shattered streets, ruptured water mains, and opened the city to what would follow. Minutes later came the incendiaries. Thousands of small fires started at once. Then hundreds more. Then thousands again. The separate fires began to join. Air was pulled into the center of the burning city. Winds formed where no wind had been. Streets became chimneys. The fire began to behave like a storm. From 20,000 feet, the crews did not see a city anymore. They saw smoke. They saw glow. They saw a shape on the ground that no longer had edges. The bombing lasted less than an hour. The burning lasted for days. Later, more aircraft would come. In daylight, American bombers would strike the rail yards and what remained of the transport system. But it was the night raid that changed Dresden forever. When the last bombers turned back toward the west, the city below was no longer a city in any ordinary sense. The war would end a few weeks later. Dresden would be rebuilt, stone by stone, street by street. But February 1945 would never quite leave it. This was not a battle. It was the application of overwhelming force at the end of a total war. And it remains one of the moments that still asks the same quiet question. Not how it happened, but what it cost.